Nigerian bank now says that you can do international transaction with your debit card. What that means is that perhaps there are some votes, there are some availability of FX that can help in responding to Nigeria's essential demand, which I think is encouraging. What we need to work on, however, what I expect the president should do in the 2 years that remains in office is how do we boost exports? Honestly, less is spoken about exports. We cannot have this economy in isolation if we are not so energetic about export. The low-hanging fruit here is oil. And I know a lot of people want to sound really very political. No, let's look for non-oil exports. Nothing is wrong if you wrap up with your oil output and you increase investment in the same. Apart from that, you boost what you're doing. So it will really go. We cannot be doing 1.4 million barrels a day or 1.6 million barrels a day, whichever number. We must do not less than 2 million barrels a day. We saw what happened to oil prices shortly before Israel-Iran war. We saw what happened to the prices. Now the prices are back relatively up. No, but with that, what is our output? Because for you to have revenue, you must combine your quantity and your pricing together to have substantial revenue. So for that, we are still not getting to the point where we should be. Then you now look at what is happening to, I look at the two monetary policy, of course, which is inflation and what we call it now. What is happening to inflation and what is happening to exchange rates. When you look at what is actually, I've mentioned the position of that. Then the trade authority is your trade. The fiscal authority, you might want to look at other parameters. For instance, education, you want to look at what is happening to health. There are a few other parameters that are not core parameter. But for these other few parameters, you know that we still have a lot to do in investment. Now, when you look at it overall, it is easy to say President Tinubu economy policy. Yes, it has hurt a lot of people. That's the truth. It has hurt a lot of people. But on the other side, government now has more revenue to spend. The question is, with this revenue that is available, how is it impacting the economy? My advice to the president and to the governors will be, as much as you are getting this revenue, your recurrent expenditure must remain the same. What must improve or grow marginally by what you need to pay, maybe civil service, what must grow significantly, I beg your pardon, it's your capital expenditure. But is this what we are seeing? Are we seeing sporadic improvement in capital expenditure? In the 37 subnational, maybe 7 of them. For the 7 of the subnational out of the 37, which means I'm including the FCT, I've seen sporadic improvement. For 30, part of this money is going into debt service. That is why you are not seeing them borrow money. And I said we need to be very wary of the issue of debt because of money illusion. We are earning more money, but ask states and the federal government that are borrowed in the dollar, convert what they have borrowed in the dollar in years before, 5, 10, 15 years. That money, those monies they borrow are now really huge. The more you devalue your currency, yes, you get more in revenue, but your debt will be huge. Your debt will be intimidating. That is what we are saying. And I want to tell you that between now, 2025, to before election in 2027, I can almost bet it, except there are economic intervention here and there, our national debt may surpass 200 trillion trillion naira. Our national debt may surpass 200 trillion naira. Are we able to finance it? Are we not going to come back to where we were at the time, where we have huge debt? Are we not going to be forced to say when debt is increasing and inflation remains double digits, will there be no need for us to devalue our currency? This is where economic thinking, beyond shallow, basic thinking, needs to come to the fore, so that the effort of monetary authority that is combating inflation with policies and those in fiscal authority that is trying to wrap up with revenue, we see how we combine. So